Alright, ladies and gents, this is going to be a weird video. I've been kind of sick lately. I'll probably just make this a video of its own, so you won't know what I mean until you see my next one. But I'm doing the valve springs and stuff on Bad Juju. Those are stock. These are not, or 6 in. I'm going to go over some tips. It's currently dark. I'm doing this kind of off and on, not all at once, because we have time until the push rods show up. So I'm gonna go over some tips, what I found to do these on car. I'm also using this valve spring tool. I have been for like 5 or 6 years, so that's what I use to take springs off and on when I need to. But anyway, I'm gonna show you all some shit. The first tip, pack the area you're working with some paper towels in between. This is gonna be a little harder to hold them. I'll have to get some more. But to keep keepers and shit from falling, I'll have to make me a little bridge. But I'll be able to, you can use a t-shirt or whatever, but use something to keep keepers from falling, because they're gonna fall. You're also gonna need some grease. This will make sense here in a minute. Cool thing about the grease is you put a little grease on here. It'll hold your retainer in place. So when it's sitting on the exhaust valve, it can't fall off. You can also use grease in the grooves of the keepers. So when you're slapping them on the bottom one, which is a pain in the ass, you can stick one on. You're gonna come around the back on the bottom one and kind of have it on your finger, push it up on and spin it around so the keeper's on top. I'm not going to be able to show you this shit on video, but that's how it's done, and then you can do it with the second one. That's basically like my little tips. We're also using air to hold up the cylinders. If you don't have any access to any air at all, and you don't have this issue going on, what you can do is take out the rocker shafts and rotate the engine and put the piston all the way up, and the valves will not fall down. The valves will be held up by the piston, and you can do all the stuff with the valves up, but you'll have to rotate each one, or work, you know, one here and one here, and vice versa. And that's another way to do it. But I'm using air because air is 10 times faster, and we have all the shit in the way. It is not going to be easy to rotate. So remember, grease, air, and or rotate engine, and grease on keepers. That's pretty much my tricks. Oh, and when you're taking shit apart, what I do is there's a magnet around here somewhere, right here. I use a magnet and stick the magnet near the keepers so they don't fly off as well. So just something to think about. I'm sure y'all can hear the hissing. That is air escaping through the intake valve. You can feel it coming out of the blower. So I would say the valve springs were a bit done. That's either going to be a bent valve or just a seat not sealing properly. Essentially, it's just mileage and all the abuse catching up to it. What weak springs allow to happen, which is why sometimes you'll lose boost, is imagine a spring is the Earth's gravitational force, okay? And you go over like a bike jump or a motorcycle jump. It lets you go so far with whatever energy you give it before you come back down. Lighter spring, you know, you go further with less effort. The stiffer spring, you're most likely not even going to get air. You're going to come right down with the same, you know. You get what I'm trying to say. So the valve gets thrown off the cam with the stock spring being wore out and all that shit. It's getting thrown off and getting slammed down. Can possibly hang up and cause issues like maybe getting tapped or anything. It causes everything to get beat up. So the new springs won't do that. It could still seal itself up. I doubt it. But we're gonna get it together anyway and just run it one more event, and probably plan to pull the heads off. So, but we have an event next week, so we're gonna make sure we make it and Just go out there and do what we got to do. Well, it's going to show it, but that's grease on the keepers. To do the last bottom one is a pain in the fucking ass. So, but that's pretty much it. And this here, Val, you mind holding this? Just hold this shit like right there, I guess. The screen will go off. Hold your fingers clear of it. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna take the keeper and come around the bottom side. That way you can still see what you're doing. And like I said, spin it up around and that one's on. I'm gonna try and do it with this one without knocking the first one off. And those are on, and the grease holds it in place. And then what I can do is watch it while this bitch comes off. Let me see, maybe I can get it. I don't know how good that's showing it, but she's lined up in there. You gotta watch the keeper and make sure it's gonna line up. Sometimes you can hold it with your other fingers, but being as I have the grease on there, felt safe with it, and that's it. Oh, and I'm just gonna get the rest of the tension off and spin that bitch off. Boom. Done. So, finished. Now I'm about to show Val an old school trick to get this, to possibly get the valve to seal up again. I'm not gonna show that on camera because I do not need to hear about y'all trying this shit. This is literally to make it one event. The plan for this thing is still to pull it out and go through the heads and possibly piece together the stroker like I'm doing mine. So, which y'all will see some parts of that maybe in the next video. But yeah. So that's some tips on how to do the valve seals and or valve springs. So even if you just had to do the seals, pretty much the same bullshit. Oh yeah, one more thing. Don't ever let anyone tell me I don't put my blood, sweat, and tears in these things, because I just slice the fuck out of my knuckle. But we got the hissing down to about half with the new springs and trick.